Hello all, this is David from Sunward Hobbies, and a brand new shipment of AMT TIE fighters have arrived. Follow me. So here we are talking about yet another Star Wars kit. This time it's AMT's newest release, a 1/32nd scale TIE fighter, specifically from A New Hope. Although I believe it's pretty much the same through the whole trilogy. So let's get started opening this up. And if you're curious, that's how big it's gonna be. So of course the TIE fighter, the workhorse of the Empire's, what would you call it, Starfleet? Or is that another movie? Whatever. I basically think of it as like the BF-109 of the Star Wars universe. It was used pretty much in every movie, except for the prequel trilogy. And it's been lauded for its maneuverability and speed. Not that that matters, because it's all fake. But anyway, let's start looking at these parts here. So the first few sprues here, these look to be the connection points for those two plates on the sides of the cockpit. You can't really call them wings. But anyway, this holds the 6 panels together. And these would be those aforementioned panels. The surface detail so far looks pretty good. Pretty sure these are the same sprues, but just for the opposite end. Yeah. Here's something different. There is your pilot. So he comes in 5 pieces, 2 halves of a torso, 2 arms, and his oxygen mask. For 32 scale, he doesn't look the best, but maybe I'm just being a little picky. This looks like some cockpit parts. These would be the control sticks. Instead of the conventional 1 control column, they've got these 2 separated columns that work like that, I suppose. I am liking the detail on these parts. Wait a second. There's 3. Well, either I'm... No, there's 4. Well, perhaps these those side panels are actually split in half. I thought it would only be 2 sprues, or 2 sets of sprues, excuse me. But yeah, they must be in halves. It seems a little excessive to me, but that's the way they wanted to do it. Then more power to them. This is, of course, the center of the spacecraft, where the cockpit sits, and the 2 columns that basically complete the main airframe. Again, the surface detail looks quite nice. These, of course, the clear parts. This would be the canopy that the pilot sees through. Now, they don't include that spider web-like frame on the actual clear part. That's in a separate piece. This here these 2 would be the part of the connecting points that attach all those side panels. And here they go really crazy with the surface detail. I couldn't even tell you what half of those panels do, if they do anything. These, I guess, must be part of the center of the airframe. And these look like the top and bottom of the cockpit, as well as the aforementioned canopy frame. Now, I learned my lesson on the previous video with that Star Trek Klingon ship. This is not part of the model. It is a stand which comes with a very sturdy metal rod. This would be the decal sheet. There's not that many to it. These would definitely be part of the control panels inside the cockpit, and this is really neat. A little picture of the trench run, which would probably looks to be a display for the inside of the cockpit. Actually, it looks like you've got your choice of the trench run or just flat space. And these would, I assume, just be stencils for the exterior. Year. Are TIE fighters made by Goodyear? And now the instruction manual. So of course, like any instructions, they say you need glue, sprue cutters, paint, all that good stuff. But I'm sure you're not beginners here, you can skip that. Construction starts with the pilot. As you saw earlier, it's only 5 pieces, and he's basically painted in all black. Then you work on the cockpit, which starts with the seat, the control columns, and then you seat the pilot and make sure that his hands are positioned on the control columns. Then you start working on the rest of the cockpit. So basically, yeah, this was what I was unsure of earlier. It's the frame, basically, for the cockpit, which then gets covered up by these. I guess you could call it a fuselage. Here you're adding some exterior details. There's a lot going on here. These clear parts here must definitely be the blasters. And you're still putting on some more parts. So this would be the front end and this the rear. Then you're attaching a few of these panels here. Then goes on the canopy. Then the frame on top of that. Then you're attaching some more panels to, that would be the bottom half. And then you start working on the sides, the quote-unquote wings. And yes, I think it does seem to be in halves. Or is it? Sorry, I'm confused about this. Well, you start building it, I'm sure you'll find out. And then lastly, you're just attaching it to the included stand. And that concludes that concludes what should be a pretty nice build. In conclusion, I didn't think AMT was capable of making a kit that was very nicely molded, but they seem to have done just that here. The surface detail is very nice. The parts look like they should go together pretty well. The detail is pretty good. It could be a little bit better, but I commend them for what they have done here. And I think you'll commend them just as much as you could pick one up for yourself at Sunward Hobbies, in store or online. And if you do so, I suggest you do it quick because it's Star Wars it'll sell out real fast. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, adios.